Previously on AH.
And hopefully mechanically the car will be running smoother than anything else. So I'm going to hand the car in and take it from there. So the air filter, fuel filter and oil filter have now been changed, and now we're working our way towards the brake pads and discs. Got them all here laid out with the locking nut, the sensor and the brake fluid. Knocking things off slowly one by one, and then hopefully it should be all good to go. Let's start getting the wheels off, and I'll have a look for the cracked alloys again because my rear left is leaking air. Right, so there you go, here's the arch well of the front right. Sensors will be changed over, discs are in a mess, and I'm sure the pads are even worse. So let's take a better look. So as you can see, this alloy is in a right state, curbed and all sorts, but once you lift it up, you can see one, it's been cracked there, it's been cracked there, and everything else looks perfectly fine. So I need to decide whether to get new alloys or just to refurb these now. I don't know if refurbing a cracked alloy is worth it. That's my only concern, because you don't want to spend all that money on a wheel which is cracked, which you then most likely in the future crack again, because let's be honest, the wheel is not as strong as it was once before. So anyways, that's something I need to look into. I might pop an alloy refurbishment place in Reading today if I have time. So the front left has come off, so let's go have a look at those ones, and let's have a look at this one. No, cannot see any welds or cracks, so that's good. So that should be fine. And once the back tube come off, we can have a better look then. But as you can see, they're messed from the front, all curved. Yeah, and the tyre, I need a new tyre as well, but that's something I'll sort out another time. Bad?
No.
Okay, so the calipers have now come out, and now we've got to get the disc off. Once the disc is off, we're going to go to the other side, repeat the process, and then I believe take the, or maybe the rear will come off, the brake pads and discs, and then they'll take the liquid out. But again, I'm learning on the spot. Rear right is now off, and let's see if there's any welds in this. There's some, no, it's just a peel. So it looks like the rear left, no sorry, rear right has no welds or crack. What are you looking at? That's just a thingy, bubbles. Yeah, so this one looks fine as well. So we know that the rear right is right, but again the top bit is mash up. But so this is the rear left, which always leaks air, and I know for a fact that, yeah, there's the weld, and I think the wheel, if I can focus, Billy come here, right, there's the weld, and I know that it's slightly, there's a thin hairline crack in it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I'm in kind of an awkward position right now. Everything else looks fine. Again, needs a refurb. The crack needs to be attended again. So I think the wheels are alright. Again, I just need to decide whether to cop some new ones or just leave it as they are. But again, I'll talk to a specialist to figure it out. So now we've got two guys working on the car. The rear's getting sorted out as well. Calipers and the disc, and then take all the liquid out.
Oh, nice one. I like it.
Well, that's not good, is it?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Because I've had the pads a while, sorry, the discs a while. Oh, that's a nuisance. And I've left them in the back of the car rather than having them indoors. Right, ladies and gentlemen, just got back from parts. So the discs which I bought 6 months ago have unfortunately got rust on them somehow because I left them in the boot. So I've had to pop down to parts and buy some padded ones for the rear. And another issue is they were the wrong size, so that doesn't help. So they'll be going on. Wrong size and rusted, but they've sorted the fronts out, so they've gone on. All right. It is Monday today. When this video will go up, I have no idea. But as you're aware, Saturday I went to Slough Auto Centre to get my brake pads and discs changed. However, when we opened the boxes for when it came time to actually change over the brake pads and discs, the front discs had a lot of rust on them. So my advice to everyone now is do not buy disc brakes, front or back, and leave them in the back of your boot for 6 months. Obviously at the time I thought I'd get them changed over within, you know, a couple of days, a week, at least 2 weeks at most, because of what was happening at the time. Anyways, ended up being 6 months just sat in the back of the boot. So obviously moisture, water, however, whatever. So that was that. Then of course the second issue was, well, the guys metal grinded it, whatever they did, to the rust to get it off, and then obviously put the fronts on. However, the backs did not go on because I'm just trying to change lane. I'm coming with the M4 going towards Slough Auto Centre. The backs were too small. I think they were 10 or 20 millimeters too small. The guys at Auto Centre called up, gave them the reg, they put the information and said, yeah, we've got a set, but they're padded, not Brembos. So we thought, you know what, let's just get them anyway. So when I picked those up, came back to then find out that they're the wrong size. Of course, they won't go on. So then we rang them again and obviously mentioned that they'd given us the wrong ones. They said that we haven't got the Brembos in stock, nor the padded in the size that you need. I then drove down, gave them back, got a refund, ordered the Brembos, and they should be there today. I'm about 10-15 minutes away. Pick those up first and then we'll head down to the boys and continue the vlog. It is a working environment, so you know, I can't then stand still and start explaining every nut bolt that we're taking off, simply because that, you know, a car on the ramp for them is time, isn't it? Time equals money for them boys. So yeah, so I'm about 10-15 minutes away. Once I get there, I'll pick the camera up and then we'll take it from there. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Doodaloo. Right guys, so the brake rib discs are now changed as well as pads. The mechanic also bled out the old liquid, the brake liquid, and also topped out with the new one. There was a whole mechanism happening, but unfortunately I didn't record it because it started to get a bit busy in the workshop, and kindly suggested that just leave the mechanic to it. So that's all done now. So even the slightest touch on the brake pad is now applying brake, which is great. That means that they're working properly and they're working how it should be, and it's not spongy. Right. However, I've got further issues. Front right and front left wheel bearing adjustment is required, which is supposedly just a bit of grease can be applied in there. That will fix that bit. But I need to do the front right and front left wishbone, which is the lower one, which connects to the shock absorber. So he's showing me there's a bit of play when they were shaking the wheels. Did a little health check whilst obviously the car was up, so they said they require changing. And also the front left track rod end and steering rack gaiter for the front left, so they need changing. Once that's done, I'm getting the mechanics sorted out first, and then I'll worry about the door, and then I'll worry about the wheels. But because I'm heading towards Reading anyway, later on today, I might pop into a few shops that I know around there to get a quote on how much a weld would be, and then also how much a full refurb is. So that's next on the to-do list. This video will end here. Make sure you subscribe, follow the journey. So we have got a road trip next month, so I want to get it all done for that. If it gets done, great. If not, then it is what it is. But if it does get done, then you'll see it in the vlog. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with this mess of a car, which it is. But it should be all good once it's all done. See ya!